Welcome back to the channel. With just a few minutes of practice every day, you can transform your English. Let's start your journey today.
Hey Emma, you look so awake and full of energy today. Did you drink a huge cup of coffee before coming to class?
Hi, Ben. Actually, I haven't had any coffee yet. I just started a new morning routine this week, and it is making me feel amazing.
A morning routine? I wish I had one of those. My morning usually involves hitting the snooze button 10 times and then running out the door with one shoe on.
I used to be the same way, Ben. I was always tired and stressed, but I realized that the way we start our day changes everything.
That sounds very professional. So what is your secret? Do you wake up at 4 in the morning like those famous CEOs?
Oh, definitely not. I still need my sleep. I wake up at 6:30. The first thing I do is not check my phone. That is the most important rule.
No phone? That is impossible for me. I usually check my social media and emails before I even open my eyes properly.
That was my problem too. If I see a stressful email or a negative news story, my brain starts worrying immediately. Now I give myself 1 hour of peace.
1 hour of peace sounds like a dream. What do you do during that hour if you aren't looking at your screen?
First, I drink a big glass of water. It wakes up my body. Then I spend about 15 minutes doing some light exercise or stretching.
Stretching is a good idea. My back always hurts from sitting in these uncomfortable classroom chairs all day.
Exactly. It helps with your posture. After that, I spend 10 minutes writing in my journal. I write down 3 things I am grateful for.
Gratitude? That's very positive. Does it actually work, or is it just something people say on the internet?
It really works. It trains your brain to look for good things instead of focusing on problems. It makes me feel much happier before I start my work.
I might try that. I usually focus on how much I hate the weather. Speaking of which, it is so gloomy outside today.
It is a bit gray, isn't it? The forecast said it might rain later this afternoon. I hope the wind doesn't get too strong.
I hope so too. I hate walking to the library when it's windy and rainy. It ruins my mood for studying.
I understand. That is why having a solid routine at home is great. No matter what the weather is like outside, your inside environment stays the same.
That's a deep thought, Emma. So what about breakfast? Do you eat a full meal or just a snack?
I always eat breakfast now. I usually have oatmeal with some fruit or a piece of toast with eggs. It gives me the energy to focus on our long lectures.
I usually skip breakfast and then my stomach makes loud noises during our quietest exams. It's very embarrassing.
You should definitely try to eat something small. Even a banana would help. If you prepare it the night before, it only takes a minute.
Preparing the night before? That requires a lot of organization. I'm not a very organized person.
It's just a habit, Ben. I also pick out my clothes the night before. I check the weather report and decide what to wear so I don't have to think about it in the morning.
That's smart. I spent 10 minutes this morning looking for my favorite sweater, only to realize it was in the laundry.
See? That's 10 minutes of stress you could have avoided. If you're organized, your morning feels like a calm breeze instead of a hurricane.
I like that comparison. You sound like you were training to be a life coach.
No, I just want to be a successful accountant. And I know that if I want to handle people's money and big numbers, I need to be focused.
An accountant? I forgot that was your major. That job requires a lot of attention to detail.
It really does. One small mistake can cause a big problem. My morning routine helps me practice discipline.
I'm studying to be a journalist. I think my mornings will always be a bit messy because news happens at all hours.
That is true, but even journalists need a moment of calm. If you're always rushing, you might miss an important detail in a story.
You're right. Maybe I can start with a 5-minute routine. I don't think I can do a whole hour yet.
5 minutes is a perfect start. You could just drink water and do 2 minutes of deep breathing.
Deep breathing? Like meditation?
Yes, it helps clear your mind. Sometimes I feel so overwhelmed with all our assignments and projects. Meditation helps me stay calm.
I feel overwhelmed every single Tuesday. That's the day we have 3 different labs and a quiz.
Tuesdays are the worst, but if you have a productive morning, you feel like you're in control of your day instead of the day being in control of you.
I like that, being in control of your day. I'm going to write that down.
You should. So, what time do you usually wake up now?
Usually around 8 o'clock, and class starts at 8:30. I live very close, so I just run.
8 o'clock. No wonder you look so tired. You're giving your brain zero time to wake up before you start learning difficult topics.
I know. I'm a night owl. I like to stay up late watching movies or playing games.
I love movies too, but I notice that if I stay up past midnight, I'm useless the next day. I can't remember anything the professor says.
That happens to me a lot. I look at my notes from the morning and I don't even recognize my own handwriting.
That is a sign that your brain was still asleep. If you wake up at 7 instead of 8, you'll have a whole hour to prepare.
What if it's a cold and snowy morning? It's so hard to get out of the warm bed when the house is freezing.
That is the hardest challenge. I put my heater on a timer so the room is warm when my alarm goes off. It makes a big difference.
Wow, you have thought of everything. You're like a morning routine expert.
I just did a lot of research. I read books about how the brain works in the morning. It turns out our willpower is strongest right after we wake up.
Willpower? Is that why people go to the gym at 5 in the morning?
Exactly. They use that early energy to do the hardest thing first. For me, the hardest thing is not going back to sleep.
Me too. My bed is my best friend in the morning and my worst enemy.
If you put your alarm clock on the other side of the room, you have to get out of bed to turn it off. Once you're standing up, it's easier to stay awake.
That's a classic trick. I usually just walk over, turn it off, and crawl back into bed.
Ben, you have to be stronger than that. You have to tell yourself, I'm getting up now to have a great day.
I will try. I really will. I want to have more energy like you. You haven't stopped smiling since we met up.
It's because I feel like I've already won the day. I have exercised, I have eaten, and I've planned my tasks. Everything else is easy now.
I'm jealous. My day feels like an uphill climb.
It doesn't have to be. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Why don't you try to wake up 30 minutes earlier?
30 minutes? Okay, I can try 30 minutes. What should I do with that time?
Drink water, stretch for 5 minutes, and eat a piece of fruit. And most importantly, do not touch your phone.
No phone for 30 minutes. I will try, but I might have withdrawal symptoms.
You will survive, I promise. You'll notice that the world doesn't end if you don't check your messages immediately.
You're probably right. I spend so much time looking at other people's lives on Instagram that I forget to live my own.
That is a very good point. A morning routine is about focusing on yourself, not on everyone else.
Do you think the weather affects people's routines a lot? I noticed when it's sunny, more people are out running in the park.
Oh, definitely. Sunshine gives us natural vitamin D, which makes us feel happy. When it's cloudy and dark, our bodies want to hibernate like bears.
I am definitely a bear in the winter. I want to sleep for 3 months and wake up in the spring.
Unfortunately, we have to go to university and do our jobs. We're not bears.
Sadly, you are correct. If I were a bear, I wouldn't have to worry about accounting or journalism.
But you would have to worry about finding food and avoiding hunters. Every life has its problems.
True, I prefer exams over hunters.
Me too. Anyway, the sun is actually trying to come out now. Look at the sky.
Oh, you're right. The clouds are breaking. That makes me feel a bit better already.
See? The environment matters, but your routine is your internal sunshine.
That's very poetic, Emma. You should be a writer, not an accountant.
I like numbers because they're logical, but I like people because they're interesting. That's why I like talking to you, Ben.
Thanks. I like talking to you too. You always have good advice.
I'm glad I can help. I really want to see you succeed. We have that big presentation next week, and we need to be sharp.
Oh no, I forgot about the presentation. See, this is why I need a routine. I forget everything because I'm always rushing.
Don't panic. If you start your new routine tomorrow, you'll have plenty of time to prepare. You can use your quiet morning time to practice your speech.
That's a great idea. Practicing in the morning when the house is quiet sounds much better than practicing at midnight when I'm exhausted.
Exactly. Your voice will be clearer and your brain will remember the words better.
Okay, I'm convinced. Tomorrow is the start of the new Ben, the productive Ben.
I love to hear that. I will text you at 7 in the morning to make sure you're awake.
Please do. Actually, wait. If you text me, I will have to look at my phone.
Oh, you caught me. You're right. I shouldn't text you. I will just trust you to do it.
Trust is good. I will tell you how it went when we meet for lunch.
Deal. And if you succeed, I will buy you a coffee or a healthy juice.
A healthy juice sounds like something the new Ben would drink.
That's the spirit. It's all about the mindset.
Thanks for the chat, Emma. I feel much more motivated now. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. Just remember, one step at a time. Don't worry if you're not perfect on the first day.
I'll remember that. Well, the professor's coming in. Time to start the lecture.
Ready to focus?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Hit subscribe so we can keep practicing English together. See you next time.